Mr. Bill Poker Peeps, welcome to the vlog. It was pretty much a miserable week this week. It wasn't necessarily because of the poker, although it wasn't good either. After 5 straight winning weeks, I had a losing week. I played only once at the WPT up at Choctaw, Durant. We're going to go over a few hands there. But the miserable thing was just I was so discouraged this week and stressed. I was just stressed. I've got so many things going on. In fact, I was going to put out a video on this vlog that says I'm not doing a vlog this week. I decided I'm going to do a short one here. But gosh, I just got so many things going on with my mom. I've been in Ohio 3 out of the last 4 weeks, and it's very stressful doing a tag sale and flipping her house. And I've got a deadline of June 1st on a project at work that's just very, very stressful. I'm the technical project lead for that, so I have a lot of responsibility there. And the poker didn't go well, so I was really disappointed, discouraged after doing so well for 5 weeks. I am probably going to make a few shorter videos the next couple of weeks because I'm trying to prepare for going to the World Series of Poker, and I'm doing some training. I need to be prepared for the World Series. So maybe 10 to 12 minute videos for the next few weeks instead of the 20-minute videos I have been doing. Wednesday Night Poker League, we are on second break. Man, I started off awful. I mean, I couldn't have... I didn't think I was going to win a hand all night. I got down to 5,100 chips, and then I started doing better. Now at second break with 14 players left out of 29, then I have 19,000 chips. I have 6 knockouts now, but all of them are for little teeny weeny amounts. So I'm doing well. I'm not recording very many hands because I am dealing tonight, so I'm trying to remember, and that's okay. You guys don't care until I get down to the final table when you want to see hands anyways. So, all right, Mr. Bill, I'm gonna win it tonight, I hope. Oh, and I won the last man with all the boys. So I've already won my, we only played $20 a piece and there was 3 of them, so I won $60 already. That's better than nothing. All right, final table. Wow. Mark Gilsdorf, seat 2. Sam, if anybody beats Sam, that's gonna be ridiculous. Jim, Murph, we got Rags there, Betty Boy, Alex, Rick, Mr. Bill. I'm dealing tonight, so they're not going to see a whole lot of hands unless I win. What is it? I am all in 6,000. I'm all in under the gun. I only had 4,000 because Jim beat me when I had pocket tens. He had ace jack and took almost all my chips. Mark raised to 12. Thankfully, gets all the riffraff out. All right, so far all the riffraff have folded. Alex, the last riffraff. Alex is a sticky riffraff, though. It's 12,000, Alex.
Yeah, I'm just seeing how much he's got.
Sure. All right, he calls. That's what I can win.
You got it, Dan?
This is what you guys are. This is the main. This is what you guys are still betting. Still looks so. All right, here we go.
He put my the two stimulators.
And Alex, you're first.
Where you have the surgery point?
Checks.
What's the surgery center right across the street, right there? 3/4.
Check.
Something like that.
Check.
I go to the
Gosh darn it. King queen for me.
I would have had a full house.
Ace 10, 5, 6.
I would have had a full
Mark gets it all. I stink. I stink. I'm the worst player ever. 2-7. Double bubble for Mr. Bill. Close. On Friday, I played in the WPT 100K guaranteed for $350. A couple of hands from here. So with blinds at 100, 200, I'm in the big blind. I have 9,000 of the starting 10,000 chips. Then in the hijack was a good young player. He was the big stack, 20K. He raised it to 600. The small blind called. It cost me 400 to win 1,400. I'm going to take those chances where 400 chips really doesn't mean very much this early, and I make the call. The flop comes 10 of spades, 8 of clubs, 2 of diamonds. It goes check to the young player in the hijack. He bets 2,200, small blind folds, and now what do I do? So I think this was very much a bet sizing tell. This player, very good. He had been betting 30 to 50% of the pot most of the time. And all of a sudden on a flop, he overbets the pot. I think he wanted everybody to go away. I don't think he was good. I think he had ace king or ace queen. So I jammed all in and he snap fold. So I was right on that one. So the next level was just before the first break. Blinds were 100, 200, 25 ante. I am in the +1 with king of clubs, jack of clubs, and I have 9,500. The under the gun bets 600, a very, very aggressive player. I make the call and the button calls. So the flop has 23-25 in it, and it comes jack of hearts, jack of spades, 8 of hearts. I flop trips. Under the gun checks, I check. The button then makes it 700. Small blind calls. I make a raise to 2200, and the button shoves all in, and he has me covered. The small blind folds, and of course I snap call with Jack King. We turn over the cards. He has Queen of Hearts, 7 of Hearts. For a flush draw, I have the top trips, and the board comes 6 of Hearts, giving him the flush, Ace of Clubs, and I am out of the 100K guarantee for 350, beaten by a flush draw. I then played probably in one of the craziest 2-5 games I've ever played at. Choctaw allows the players to buy up to the big stack. I played until midnight. My buddy Stone was there and played till 3 in the morning. He said after I left it got even more crazy, and there were pots that had $5,000 and $6,000 in them in a 2-5 game. Pretty crazy. So at this point, I was in the game for about 1,000. I had about 1,000, so I was about even. I was in the small blind with pocket jacks, jack of diamonds, jack of clubs. Of course, there was a straddle on because there was a straddle on almost every single hand. The under the gun, who started the hand with $390. The middle position 1, middle position 2, all limp. I made it $85. The under the gun, who I played with many, many times, very, very loose, makes the call. The flop with 197 in the pot comes 2 of clubs, 3 of clubs, 5 of clubs. So it's very, very awkward stack sizes. The pot has about 200 in it. He has 305 left. I don't think there's any difference between me betting 125, 150 or jamming it all in here. So I go ahead and jam it in there for his effective stack of 305. He tanks for probably 3 or 4 minutes and then makes the call. The board runs out 9 of hearts, 4 of spades, and he wins when he shows 5 of spades, 4 of diamonds. You have got to be kidding me. Not a flush draw. I'm representing an overpair, which is exactly what I had, and he still made the call. This is where poker just is brutal and unfair. I know variance, sure. Variance, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But man, when things aren't going well, this is a perfect example. So needless to say, I was very, very frustrated at that time. That hand would have gotten me up maybe $500. Instead, I'm down about $400, so frustrated. So I then lost a couple of hands. I had pocket queens all in to ace jack, where they only had a small effective stack of 255. I lost when he hit an ace. I then lost another hand, pocket queens again. I lost about $300 on a 10-7-7 deuce king board, and he hit a king on the end. Oh my goodness, it just was not going very well for me. So on this last hand we'll do a little bit more in-depth explanation. I'm into the game for $1,200. I have $600. The game has been very, very loose. Lots of betting with not very premium hands, 7 jack, 6-5. Now of course the premium hands too, aces, kings, queens, ace, king, but lots and lots of loose betting in this game. So I have ace, king in middle position 1. There's a limper for 5 in front of me. I make it 20. Then I get raised to $85 by a player in the cutoff who was not one of the terribly loose players, but he also could mix it up a bit, and so he raised me to $85. The limper folded, and now I had a decision to make. There's only about $140 in the pot. A normal 3-bet for me here would be just somewhere around, I don't know, $270 to $320, somewhere in that range, and I only started the hand with $600. So I think that if I bet 300, that pretty much I am pot committed. So I didn't do that. I didn't want to be pot committed without getting my full fold equity. So I jammed for 120 big blinds, $600. It comes back to the cutoff and he lets out a big sigh. He doesn't know what to do. He tanked for a long, long, long time and eventually made the call with pocket queens. So I'm not going to tell you guys the outcome, because I want to tell you that regardless of the outcome, what do you think of jamming 120 big blinds in this particular situation? I'm going to give you my reasoning and rationale, whether I'm right, wrong, or indifferent, and you guys tell me what you think. So I've already explained a little bit of it, that I did not like the stack size because a normal 3-bet would have caused me to be pot committed. And I wanted to get full fold equity. But what does that mean? So for me, that meant, okay, if I'm up against, obviously if I'm up at 8, 6 or king, I'm in trouble, right? I figured he could have queens, he could have jacks, he could have 10s, ace king, ace queen, maybe ace jack suited, I'm not sure there. But the bottom line when I jam in 600 is I think I have a certain percentage of fold equity. So even if he calls me with, let's say, pocket queens or pocket jacks, that at the time of the decision, I'm still going to be 50% or better. So here's my EV if I have 10% fold equity or if I have 20% fold equity. I actually haven't run the numbers as I'm filming this, but my assumption is even with 10% fold equity, I'm going to be close to 50-50. And with 20% fold equity, I'm going to be like a 54% favorite. That's what I'm guessing. If I'm wrong, then I'm just wrong. So there was other reasons, right? I'm into the game for 1,200, I have 600 in front of me. If I double up, I go to probably a little bit more than even. If I get the fold, hey, it gives me another couple $100, so now I'm not down as much as I was before. I was frustrated, no doubt about that. I hadn't been running very well. I see all these big pots going on. I'm not involved in any of them, or actually the ones I was involved in with the pocket queens, both of them, I got hammered when I was way ahead. So frustration had something to do with it. But above and beyond the frustration was, I think the numbers were with me. I took a break after the hand, and Stone told me that there was a big discussion about the hand and what the jam meant to the other players. And the guy who folded pretty much thought that I had to have an ace-king hand. That's, he told Stone and the others, that's what he put me on. Now, of course, you know, hindsight's 20/20. After I show you ace-king, he says, oh yeah, I put you on ace-king. So who knows if that was really it, but it does make sense what he was saying, because it was quite the overbet. And would I really do that with aces or kings? Yeah, potentially I would, if I think I'm still pot committed, but maybe not. Maybe I only go to $250 if I have aces because I want the call. So it does make sense that he puts me on ace king. Again, that's one of the things that I want you guys to talk to me about and tell me, you know, maybe it's a horrible play, maybe it's a good play, maybe it's right on the edge, it's 50-50, which is actually what I think it is. Would I want to do this every single time? No. In the situation I was in, I was actually okay with it. Again, I think I was more than 50% EV. I still haven't done the numbers, so we're gonna look back at the video in a second and go back to those numbers and see. So I'm not going to give the results of this hand, and I will give the results next week. And I want you guys to tell me what you think of this particular play. Okay, as we've talked about before, Mr. Bill Poker Game is going to happen, but I'm now postponing it until either June or July. I don't know if I want to do it during the World Series of Poker. I'm going to be gone in the month of June for 16 days, and then maybe for the main event. I know my son's playing the main event, so July, so maybe late July, I don't know. But I'll keep you guys up to date. It is going to happen. Just have a little patience with me. I'm not going to get to play in the WPT main event this weekend. I may go up there and either play in a smaller tournament or cash games a little bit. And I have been thinking about a vlog that I'm going to do either next time or the time after that, about something that I've been doing that has really been helping me mentally. And so despite the really difficult week that I've had, if I hadn't been doing this, it would have been way worse. So I want to talk to you guys about that. So that's coming up in a vlog or two. I am really going to get serious now in the next couple of weeks before World Series of Poker of studying and preparing myself for the World Series. So these vlogs are going to be a little bit shorter the next few weeks, just because I want to put my time into that as opposed to 12-14 hours of editing videos. I want to only do 5 hours of editing videos. So so the vlogs in the next week or so are going to be a little bit shorter, and then hopefully we're going to do some really great ones during the World Series of Poker. That's pretty good. I'll tell you, Craigie, isn't that pretty good?
Hey, that's so outstanding.
That's outstanding.
I
am outstanding. All right, you guys, that's going to do it. I have to tell you, I really appreciate your support, especially in a time for me that is very, very stressful. So thank you for the positive comments especially. All right, guys, you have a very wonderful, blessed week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.